What's up? Gonna change it up a little bit. I know, I always talk Eagles, obsessed with the trash talking circle, but gonna change it up. I don't know if anybody knows, but Penn State is my team for college. They are my favorite, football team. They are ranked number 3 right now in the country. Texas Tech number 2, number 1 being Alabama. But this video, I'm just going to talk about my thoughts about the BCS. I know, Cowboy TV, some other people have made videos about the BCS, but I never really got to say, my whole take on it, my whole opinion. So that's mainly what this video is. And so BCS, basically, computer system that, based on a lot of different factors, mathematically calculates who the number 1 team should be. And this week, the ratings came out that Alabama, of course, I just said Alabama number 1, Texas Tech 2, and Penn State 3. Yes, I can't really argue with that because Penn State does play in a weak conference. I mean, they beat Ohio State, but that was the only really good team they beat. They beat Illinois and Wisconsin, but now they're not ranked. So really not too much. But they are undefeated. They have run the table so far, so can't really take anything away from that. Alabama's been great. Not really slipped up all year. They play great. Texas Tech, thrilling win over Texas last week, which they deserved to jump to the Nittany Lions, and I thought they would, and they deserve to. I'll give Texas Tech, if there's any Texas Tech fans out here, giving them their props, because Crabtree, Graham Harrell playing great right now. But after the BCS, I really don't think, not even as a Penn State fan, as a fan of college football and the NCAA and, everything, and sport of competition, I really don't understand how you can have a computer decide who gets to play for the national championship. I really don't agree with it. I think a playoff system should be enacted, as I'm sure most people agree with. I'd say about 8 teams is good enough. I don't think you have to have, the top, 30 or anything. It doesn't have to be like March Madness with the field of 64. And it's in basketball where it's, March Madness, which is great. I love March Madness, but you really don't need that many teams. The top 8 teams, which is fine, which would be, Texas would also be included in there, Florida as well, USC. Some great teams. All those teams are great. Even Florida, USC with just 1 loss, and they're still playing well. Texas with 1 loss as well. Have them fight it out in a playoff system, and you would really know who the best team is. When you play for the national championship, you'd be putting the best 2 teams in the country on that field to play for it all. But last year, LSU and Ohio State. I guess last year you couldn't really, LSU won the national championship. They deserved it. They were the number 1 team. Ohio State choked in the national championship, as they always do. Last year they didn't have too much of a problem with it. But, a team like Hawaii played in the bowl last year. Boise State the year before that. Yes, Boise State won. But teams like Hawaii, come on, that's why they have the playoff system, so, they could still play in the lesser bowl, I guess. But I really think that this playoff system should be enacted. A playoff system of any kind. Sure, it can be 8 teams, 12 teams, 16 teams, whatever you want. Even if it was 24, I'd be happy that, 24 is kind of a lot for football, but if you did, 8 or 12, I'd be fine with that, because they'd all be playing each other, and it would just be the best competition that college football has to offer. People are ragging on Penn State. Oh, they haven't played anybody. Oh, they don't deserve it. They didn't lose a game. How can you say they don't deserve it? They're playing against competition. It's not like they're playing against Pee-wee teams. Yes, maybe Florida has a case that they should play for the national championship. But it's shaping up to be either someone from the Big 12 or the SEC versus Penn State, because Alabama's playing LSU this weekend. Big game, one they could lose. Oklahoma State is playing Texas Tech, a game they could lose because Oklahoma State's got great quarterback Zach Robinson, great receiver Dez Bryant. I think Mike Gundy can get it done for Oklahoma State, so that's... anything can happen with all these one-loss teams. Then another thing, it would give all the one-loss teams and the undefeated teams the chance to match up before the national championship. You could have Florida could lose, if they lose one game all year, and then, or like 6th or 7th coming into this, if they had a playoff system, they could go through and win everything, which would be fine. But if you're going to just use computers, to calculate ratings and to make these matchups of who should play for the national championship, I think you're robbing the kids that play on these teams, the student athletes. You're robbing, the coaches, and most of all, you're robbing the diehard fans of these teams. Teams like Penn State, Texas Tech. I know Texas has a big following here on YouTube. I mean, all these teams that are just, even, the undefeated teams and one-loss teams, they could all play for it all. And a playoff system would just alleviate no hard feelings, no more controversy. There wouldn't be any controversy whether, who's playing for the national championship. It would all be decided, it would all be fair, and no teams could really complain about that. So that's really my thoughts on the whole BCS system and what they could do to make it better, and hopefully they will in a couple of years. But I'll be back more, of course, recap the Eagles-Giants game, and I'm going to try to make some Penn State videos. I'll make one after the Iowa game. We have Iowa left. After that, we have Iowa on the road, which could be a slip-up game, but I think they'll win that easily. And then we have Indiana at home, and closing out at home as well, we have Michigan State, which is a big game. And if they stay ranked, that'll give the Nittany Lions another ranked win against a ranked opponent. So that'll be good for their stock against the BCS, but they shouldn't have to worry about that because the BCS should be abolished, in my opinion. But that's all I got for now. So, just keep watching. Go Penn State, go Eagles, go all the Philly teams. See you guys later.